Starting now. Okay. Hello, everybody. Again, I'm Nick Fong from TBN Asia, and today I have an opportunity to have a conversation with Mike Schubert, co-founder of Telunas Resorts. Hello, Mike, and thank you for making time in your busy schedule to have a chat with us today. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. My pleasure, Nick. Thanks for inviting me to chat with you and the rest of the TBN Asia community.
Cool. Well, let me hand over the time to you to begin. I think basically, perhaps you could start by introducing yourself and a little bit about your background and your role with Telunas Resorts. How does that sound? Over to you.
As you mentioned, back in 2000, some friends and myself and my wife, we were traveling in Southeast Asia and just fell in love with Indonesia and the people and the communities out here. And so in 2003, we moved out here and began the plan of developing Telunas Resorts. It was really a, if you build it, they will come sort of dream. And back then, to be honest, we didn't know a lot. But we wanted to both serve people and serve the communities around us. And so we started with one resort called Telunas Beach Resort, and then we expanded into in Belitung, and we're excited about that as well.
Cool. Yeah. Somewhere in between, there was a little bit of lag and the internet gave out. So, but that's okay. I think I heard a few things. One nice little reference to Field of Dreams, and yeah, if you build it, they will come. And I think it was just very interesting to also read a little bit about the fact that you're building resorts in sometimes in a very, very nice little, I guess, remote or rural. I'm not sure whether that's the right word, but it seems very quiet and serene. Is that how did you guys pick your locations?
Yeah, so our desire is not to go where other resorts typically go. Like I said, our desire is to impact communities that typically have a lot of potential and opportunity. They just don't have places like Telunas Resorts to show up. So our vision is to help people and places flourish through restorative hospitality. And that's really what we're seeking to do. And there's so many beautiful locations around Indonesia, but we're going to go to that others haven't yet found. And so we're excited when people join us on that journey.
Wow, nice. Now, you mentioned a little bit about restoration and the community kind of thing. I think the impact seems to cover, from what I've read, the environment, impacts communities around you, even and there's also an impact on sustainability. Maybe talk us through a little bit about those, and I'm assuming it's important to your organization to have that sort of impact.
Yeah, before COVID in 2019, we were measuring how many what we call impact hours are we and our guests engaging in, and we hit close to 60,000 impact hours in that year. And like you said, that was within what we call the 4 Ps. So you have the planet, which is your environmental. You have people, which relates to the social aspects of our community. We have English teaching in the local schools as one example. We also have purpose. And purpose is about helping people figure out who they were created to be and how to reach that potential. And so we do that not only with our own staff, but we do it with community leaders as we want to invest in them as they invest into their communities. And the last one is prosperity, which is more than just profit, because that's very me-centered. Prosperity is how do we look at the entire ecosystem and help build an economic lift as well. So those are the 4 areas, but I talk about them as people and places. So we're seeking for people and the place, the communities, the environment that we are located in to really flourish. And what does that look like? And every location is going to be a little bit different, but that's where we love to be a good neighbor and just figure out what those are and work with the people there.
You mentioned, thanks, and you mentioned a little bit about some of the things that you've done, including English lessons and the other things that you mentioned. I guess the question was this kind of like was it sequential? Did you all think the 4 Ps going in, or like did it slowly evolve as the time went by as you guys spent more time in the community?
Yeah, it definitely has been something that has evolved over time. There was always the desire, but there wasn't the structure, the concept. So we knew we wanted to be located, and we knew we wanted to learn and to help. But then, how do you do that well? You can also there's a book called "Helping When It Hurts," and we learned a lot through that. When you're creating dependency. So we don't want to create dependency. We want to create interdependency. And ultimately, we want to create independence. But we see ourselves as part of the community, and we're a resource of that community. But we also don't ever want people, there's a lot of people that are like, well, you need to just give us money because we need money. Well, that's not exactly a win-win solution that will create flourishing. And so we offer a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities for people to develop.
Spending time in the community and working with the neighbors, as you call them, around you, what surprised you about them?
Well, they're naturally hospitable. So, there's a lot of things when you're in the hospitality business, you think, oh, I'm going to have to train them in all these different ways. The things that we had to do is train them in certain skills, but the way to serve people and to love people in this business, that came natural. And so we didn't want to take that away. We wanted to just kind of help polish that and shine that up, and allow them to be who they are with our guests. And one unique thing about our staff and our guests, we have a lot of our guests, and again, this just happens naturally, that invite our staff to visit them in Singapore. And we've even had some of our staff get invited to vacation. It is truly, we don't push that. It just shows the bonds that are created. And so we have a very high value of connecting relationally. And that's part of that whole restorative process, because we're all valuable, whether we're serving or being served, we're all valuable. And so we try to display that in how we interact with others.
Nice. Now, being in hospitality, like you mentioned, and then COVID-19, how did that impact you for 2 years? And I know we're coming out of it, and but did it have any impact on the community, on the people and the jobs?
Yeah, it was definitely hard on us all. I'll start with the company itself. I remember March 16, 2020, we got the word that Singapore was going to close its borders, and we were full at both our resorts, and we had to let everyone know it's time. We gotta get you back. And we got people back. It took 2 years, 1 month, and a few days before we could receive international visitors again from Singapore and other countries. And so you can imagine those 2+ years were very, very difficult. And, I wish I knew how long it was going to take, but I didn't. I think that was God's grace, because in the moment, when we were faced with what do we do, we were reminded of one of our values, and one of our values is to treat all resources as God's resources. And when we thought about that, we said, wait a second, our people are the greatest resource. So how would God want us to treat our people during a time like this? And so we decided at the time, hey, we have a decent amount of money in our bank account and all that kind of stuff. So we said we're not going to lay off anyone. But we did ask, will you take a voluntary pay cut? And so everyone took about a 35% pay cut. After a few months, I had a number of the people from the local village come to me and be like, we can live on less. We know how to live on less. And we said, no, it's okay. We'll survive. Now, we thought max was 6 months, and then it turned into 12 months, and then 18 and 24 plus months. But we have some incredible investors who extended loans and were favorable on their terms to help us get through. So thankfully, we were able to maintain our commitment to our staff, and they're super excited. Now we have guests back, and they're coming back. So we're really excited, and the team is excited to host many, both old and new friends.
Wow, thanks. So you mentioned 2 years and a month. So it's kind of like probably April this year where your visitors started coming back in, and that's quite a long time to sustain, but you did, and I think the community would have been quite appreciative of what's been happening for the 2 years for themselves as well. I guess the question is, next question I have is, what keeps you motivated, especially, with a challenge like that, especially?
Yeah, I think it comes back to our why, our vision. And then as we build the team to reach that vision, it's the people that coming alongside, and they're figuring out their calling, their purpose, and they get excited. And so as we look to expand into Belitung, another part of Indonesia, with another beautiful resort, we really look forward to really just multiplying and growing the impact that we're having in the Riau Islands, but also having an impact in this new area as well.
Cool. So with the new expansion or the plans coming up, what kind of support are you looking for, if any?
Yeah, there's always things. I was thinking about this prior to our call. One area is in recruiting. We're always looking for people that they may not have a career in hospitality, but they have a heart for hospitality. They love people. They love serving people. And if they have that and they are excited about our vision, we'd love to talk to them about a potential role. Primarily, we're looking for Indonesians, to be honest. There are a few roles that are more senior, but most of them are for Indonesians. Secondly, we are looking for investors who, again, are aligned to our vision and want to see what we call a triple or quadruple bottom line. And they're excited about what we're doing, not just the financial return they may receive. So that's another area. We're looking at, as we grow, advice on the legal side. How do we best structure things? What would an ESOP look like? All those questions. If there's any sharp TBN legal minds out there, we'd love to talk to them. So those are areas right now that would be helpful for us.
Cool. Yeah, and I think that's thanks for sharing that, and thanks for just being also being honest about what are some of the things that you're looking for. I guess the last thing I wanted to ask was that you mentioned just now just something that was okay. Maybe I'm not totally up to speed, but you said something about quadruple bottom line. What was that?
Yeah, so quadruple bottom line are our 4 Ps. Yeah, there is the financial or the prosperity and yeah, the profit, but then the environmental and the social and I'm doing yeah, and all like the purpose, everything. behind it. So those 4 areas, if they're aligned with us and they want to see us invest in those areas, then we're excited.
Cool. Thanks. Well, I, thanks for just taking time out from your day to do this. If people wanted to follow what's going on with Telunas Resorts, and where can they follow them? Follow you, actually.
Yeah, one great area is to sign up for our newsletters, because those give you the inside scoop, the inside news. Like, we're about to open up Ridge Villas at our private island, and these Ridge Villas are going to be incredible. Adults only, plunge pools, just a great place to get back and relax. And those newsletters you can subscribe to if you go to our website, telunasresorts.com, and Telunas is spelled Telunas. You could also follow us on Instagram at Telunas_resorts. And I think Facebook as well. It's just Telunas Resorts. You can search and find. But all of those are areas where you can kind of follow on social media and other things. But I would encourage the newsletter is a great way.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Yes, the newsletters, and yeah, we will when we post this video, we'll definitely put those websites and the URLs, as well as the Instagrams and Facebooks. We'll just tag them for you so that people can easily just click through.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks again for the time. And I won't take too much of your day, but again, really appreciate that you've taken time off your busy schedule just to just talk with us. Thanks, Mike.
My pleasure, Nick. It's been a great time, and I look forward. Will you be in Bali as well?
Yes, I will.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. Looking forward to catch up there for sure.
Excellent. All right. Take care.
See ya.